Hey everyone, and welcome to another Manosaur subscriber giveaway video. This is going to be the last one of our Return to Ravnica box, and then starting next week we'll be giving away Theros pretty much until we feel like not giving it away anymore. If this is your first time seeing this, what we do every single week is open 9 packs of whatever I want, and then split them up into 3 piles, and then give everything away. I try to keep each of the piles relatively similar in value, because it helps guarantee that at least everyone's going to get something good instead of everyone chasing one pile. Last week one of the piles was a little bit down, so I added a Shockland to make it better. So I'm trying to give you guys awesome stuff. So let's just get right into it. Let's get the rest of our packs here. This is the rest of our box. All right, get rid of that. Okay, so we've got 9 packs left. And let's see what we can get. Now remember, all you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and then comment down below, and that's all you have to do to enter to win. I've been asked this a lot too. We're giving away, in each pack, we'll give away the rare, the uncommons, the token, and we can ship anywhere in the world. So no matter where you are, we'll ship it to you. This is for you guys, so I'd like to, be able to give it to anybody who wins, since all my subscribers are awesome equally. Alright, so I'm just going to go through the commons relatively quickly unless I see something that I think is worth noting, like Deviant Glee, which is really great for limited. Or Augur Spree, which is awesome removal. Stab Wound, also great removal. This would be a really good sealed pool for black. Man. Tower Drake's fine. It is a 2-1 for 3, but he can make himself a little bit more durable, and he's a flyer, which is always nice. Alright, so on commons we have Thought Flare, it's not bad. Street Sweeper. Judge's Familiar, which is pretty good. And a Counterflux. Okay, so Counterflux is pretty cool. It's 2 blue mana and 1 red for an instant. Counterflux can't be countered by spells or abilities. Counter target spell you don't control, and you can overload it for 1 colorless, 2 blue, and a red. This is actually starting to see more play. I've heard a lot of talk about it in Standard as like a new counter spell, and it really isn't that bad. There's a lot of blue, white, red flash decks that I could definitely see wanting to run something like this, especially against the mirror. Not being able to be countered is pretty nice. And 3 mana is not really terrible when you consider things like Cancel exist. Yeah, it's 2 blue and 1 red, but in a flash deck you should be okay for mana. So, alright, let's put this in pile 1. Now remember, these are each going in 3 piles. 3 different people are going to win one of these piles completely randomly. Or 3 different people are going to win one of each of these piles. So I'm going to try to keep them even as far as value. Alright, let's see what we got. Inspiration's fine for limited, not bad. Centaur Healer's great. This card, if you still do Return to Ravnica drafts, this card's actually pretty good. You get a 3/3 body for 3, and you gain 3 of life. It's really good. Stab Wound, one of the best removals, at least in the set. Uncommons, we have Bluster Squall, Heroes Reunion, Bizarre Crovod, and a Mercurial Chemister. Okay, Mercurial Chemister is 3 colorless, 1 blue, and 1 red for a 2/3. You can pay 1 blue mana and tap him to draw 2 cards, or you can pay 1 red mana and tap him and discard a card, and Mercurial Chemister deals damage to target creature equal to the discarded card's converted mana cost. Now, I remember when this card was first spoiled. I believe it was spoiled by Loading Ready Run. But it was really cool, like 1 blue mana, draw 2 cards. Yeah, he's 5 mana on a 2/3, so he's not that durable, but especially in limited, he's great. If you can get him into play and untap with him, he's just card advantage forever. I wish he saw more play in Constructed, but he's too easy to kill for his mana investment, which is really sad. So we'll stick him in pile 2. It's a really good Is It situation we got going on here. Any Is It players out there, you probably love this. Alright, let's keep going. Avenging Arrow, fine removal spell. Sundering Growth is great. Augur Spree is great. Asperious Skywatch, I just want to say, people get turned off by this card because it's 6 mana. And a 3/3 flyer for 6 isn't great. But Detaining is way better than people think it is. I'm not saying it's the best thing ever or completely justify 6 mana. But this card really isn't that bad. Alright, so for uncommons we have Lee of Sky Knight, definitely one of the best limited cards for Azorius. 3/1 for 3. While it has 1 toughness and no first strike, 3 power is just great. And Detaining, again, great ability. Pyro Convergence, Blood Fray Giant. I've talked about this in the last video, how much I love this card. And then Epic Experiments. So Epic Experiments is our last mythic, I believe. But it's Izzet, again. X blue and red. Exile the top X cards of your library. For each instant and sorcery card with converted mana cost X or less among them, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put all cards exiled this way that weren't cast into your graveyard. So basically, you remove the top, X cards, and then hopefully your mana cost, or however much you paid for X, is going to be high enough to cast a bunch of that stuff. Pretty good for Izzet, since a lot of their things are like instants and sorceries and kind of low-cost spells mostly. But yeah, this is hysterical that we've gotten 3 Izzet cards in a row. This is kind of crazy. Crazy Izzet box right now. Watch us just get like a Steam Dance or something. Like, the Return of Ravnica box gods are trying to tell me something. Pursuit of Flight is awesome. I've said that before. Vassal Soul, really good. Really good for limited. Get to uncommons. Akastede. Azorius. Oh man, I knew how to pronounce this and then I forgot. Justicar? I don't know. Rakdos Ringleader, which is fine. It's nice that he has 6 mana, but he does give you the ability to make your opponent discard at random, which is nice. And 1 mana Regenerate's not bad. I think the only thing that even redeems this guy is that he has First Strike. But even then, he's really hard to invest in. And a Martial Law. Okay, so our first non-Izzet card is a 2 colorless, 2 white. Enchant, then at the end of your upkeep, detain target creature and opponent controls. I didn't see this taken as much in limited as I thought it was going to. And granted, it doesn't exactly affect the board state immediately. If you're in kind of a more control-y deck like I like to play, Martial Law is not terrible. You can get a lot of value out of it over the long run if you're not being beaten down by Rakdos really quickly. It really isn't as bad as everyone thinks it is, for limited at least. So we're gonna put this put this with Epic Experiments for now. Now I can change these piles around pretty much whenever I want. So if something comes up and things don't look even by the time I'm done, I'll just change everything. Let's see, Courses Accord is pretty cool. You get 2 3/3s for 6. It's not bad. People think it is. Gross Chainwalker's pretty good. I love Inaction Injunction. There are people that rag on it so much because it's a sorcery, but you draw a card and detain a creature. It's it's a great cantrip for limited, and you kind of time walk their combat step, which is nice. Hey, is it Guildgate? Alright, for uncommons we have Security Blockade, which is, in my opinion, is kind of like a worse Knightly Valor. But it's not bad. Fall of the Gavel, talked about that before, it's hilarious. Slime Molding is great. Any green deck that's in limited is definitely playing this card. It's just so good. And Esteem Vents. Alright, so there's clearly something's going on, because this is the 4th Izzet card we've gotten, and I called it. You were here, you heard it. It was like, let's bowl Esteem Vents, and we did. So this is pretty awesome. Shockland's obviously going to go up in value like everyone's saying when Theros comes out, so this will be really cool if whoever gets this. You're going to probably have a very Izzet pile. We'll put this with the Chemister right in the middle there, since the Counterflex is definitely worth more than the Chemister, and I want to try to even out as much as we possibly can. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's keep it going. Hey, there's Nightly Vow, I was talking about. Splatter Thug's good. It's got the First Strike Unleashed. 3 mana for a 3/3 First Strike, pretty good. It can't block, but, why would you need to? Okay, we got Racecourse Fury, Rakdos Keyrune, Ultimate Price, great card, and a Vraska. Alright, cool. Vraska, this is our 4th mythic, I think. Vraska is, or when it came out, it was really expensive, and then it sort of plummeted, right? It went, really far down, but, 5 mana for starting at 5 loyalty, and you can +1 it to basically make it so that if a creature attacks Vraska, they just die. The -3 lets you destroy target non-land permanent, and the -7 gives you 3 1/1 Black Assassins that whenever they deal combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. Now this card went way, way down so fast, and I think it's worth a little bit more than it is right now. It is 5 mana, and when it comes into play, bringing it up to 6 doesn't exactly affect the board state immediately, but once you get it to 6, you could have 2 straight turns of destroying any non-land permanent you want. And that seems pretty powerful. Going into Theros with Standard, the meta's going to be a little slower, so Vraska, I think she can't go any lower, really, than she is. I could definitely see her in more decks, maybe more mid-rangey control decks. I have an opinion that a white, green, black mid-range control deck is definitely going to be a thing, and Vraska will definitely be part of that thing. She's definitely going to be part of that thing. This is kind of tough, isn't it? You know what I mean? Counterflux is still pretty good. You know, I'm going to put that over here, because Martial Law and Epic Experiments are pretty low, and yeah, it's 2 mythics, but Counterflux is still more usable. But obviously, whatever we pull out of these, I can move stuff around, and it won't be a problem. So, let's see what we got. Trestle Troll, fantastic. Downsize isn't bad. You can really just mess someone's day up, especially with the Overload. Let's see. Uncommons, we have Shrieking Affliction, Arrest, such a bomb. Dryad Militant, great card. And an Overgrown Tomb. Hey, alright, this is good. We're getting more Shocklands. We have a foil too. Ethereal Armor, it's pretty. Alright, so we have another Shockland. Much like Steam Vents, it's definitely undervalued and will definitely go up when Theros comes out. This is pretty good so far. We will definitely put this with the Counterflux pile. Pretty much all shocks are going to be useful. Everyone keeps down-talking the Temple lands, and I'm not saying they're like the best cards ever, you know what I mean? But by no means are they absolutely terrible. But of course Shocklands are far better, right? So Shocklands are definitely going to go up. I'm really glad we have a bunch of them in this in these 9 packs. Well, a bunch is 2, but that's still a bunch. Especially when I'm giving stuff away. I think it's great. You guys must be happy. I would be. Stab Wound again. Nice. I love that card. Alright. Archweaver. Rites of Reaping. A Golgari Charm. It's pretty great. And a Voltaic. I remember when I first got my cards for Return of Ravnica and I started opening boxes. I think I opened like 15 Voltaics. And it's 4 mana for a trampling 4/4. Voltaic attacks each turn if able. Whenever Voltaic is dealt damage, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, sack him. When Voltaic dies, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, it deals 4 damage to each creature and each player. This card's hysterical. Obviously, I'll never see standard play. I've seen a few people play it in Limited, and it's really funny. And I've seen some people play it in EDH, and it is even hilarious there. Obviously, pretty much crap rare status, but I still think it's funny. There are definitely uses for this. We're going to put it in this pile, though. Alright, so let's see what we can end this box on. Hopefully a high note, right? Starting with rats. It's so sophisticated. Alright. Trestle Troll, great. Void Wielder. Okay, see, this is something I really want to talk about. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but Void Wielder, 5 mana for a 1/4, obviously not great, but he returns target creature to its owner's hand. Unsummon effects in Limited are really good. And when attached to a body, even if it's any body, is still really, really good. Anybody. Anyway. Alright, uncommons. Soul Tithe, Golgari Decoy, Teleportal, it's a good card, and a Gerard's Orders. Okay, so Gerard's Orders is 2 colorless, a black and a green, to search your library for up to 2 creature cards and reveal them, put one into your hand and the other into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. This was a card. Do you guys remember when Freets, or Frights, however you pronounce it, was a thing? It's been a thing for a while, but this card was in that deck. You know, they would go get 2 creatures. They'd go get either like a Mana Producer or even like a Thragtusk, and then they would get like an Angel of Serenity or an Armada Worm, and then just stick them in the graveyard and Burial Rites them. So this was definitely part of that deck. Cards like Rescue from the Underworld definitely give Reanimator players some hope. You know, that they'll be able to use these kinds of abilities, and Gerard's Orders might still be playable if they can figure out a way to make that work. So we're going to put this, yeah, that's fine, put it in the middle pile. Okay, so to recap, in pile 1, we have a Voltaic, an Overgrown Tomb, and a Counterflux. Put the Overgrown Tomb on top. In pile 2, we have a Gerard's Orders, a Steam Vents, and a Mercurial Chemister. So that's not bad. In pile 3, we have a Vraska the Unseen, a Martial Law, and an Epic Experiments. So now, that's pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. To win any of these piles, all you have to do is be a subscriber and then comment down below. Someone last week, because we use a random number generator to decide who wins in the comments, but after we figure out who to pick in the comments, we go to see if they're a subscriber, and last week someone wasn't. So they ended up missing out on winning an actually really good pile, which is really sad. So just make sure you're subscribed, make sure you comment, and you can win any of these piles. We'll send them anywhere. You'll get the rares, the uncommons, the tokens, pretty much everything but the commons, because I don't want to buy bigger envelopes. So yeah, I guess that's basically it. Piles 1, 2, 3. Subscribe, comment. You don't have to like the video if you don't want to, but we always appreciate it. This has been the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. See you next time.